I watched in horror as the billionaire's wife grabbed my dress and ripped it apart in front of everyone at the most exclusive party in the city. Everyone laughed. I stood there humiliated, tears streaming down my face. But what happened next? She never saw it coming. Nobody did. Before I tell you how karma struck back harder than anyone could imagine, let me tell you how I even ended up at that party. My name is Ella Marlowe, a simple catering assistant who worked double shifts just to keep the lights on in my tiny apartment. I was hired as extra staff for the most glamorous charity event of the year, the annual Sinclair Winter Gala, hosted by billionaire Victor Sinclair and his infamously cruel wife, Camilla. People in the city whispered about her. Beautiful. Rich. Sharp as a diamond. Cruel as a blade. I didn't want trouble. I only wanted to serve trays, finish my shift, and go home with enough money to cover rent. But life had other plans. As I passed VIP guests with a tray of champagne, I accidentally brushed shoulders with Camilla's cousin, who spilled a drink on her designer gown. Before anyone could react, Camilla spun around, eyes blazing, searching for someone to blame. And she chose me. "You cheap nobody," she screamed, grabbing my wrist so hard I flinched. "You ruined my gown." It wasn't me," I trembled. "Someone bumped." She didn't let me finish. In one vicious motion, she grabbed my dress, the simple black one provided by the catering company, and ripped it straight down the front. Gasps echoed across the ballroom. Someone laughed. Someone recorded. No one stepped in. I stood there, exposed, my arms crossed desperately over my chest, tears burning down my cheeks. My voice trembled. "Please, stop." But Camilla wasn't satisfied. "This is what happens," she sneered, "when trash mixes with wealth." Her friends giggled cruelly. I looked around for sympathy. For mercy. For someone, anyone, to help. But all I saw were diamonds, tuxedos, and cold eyes staring at me like I was a joke. Humiliation crushed my chest so hard I could barely breathe. A security guard finally stepped forward, placing a coat around my shoulders. "Miss, you need to leave." I nodded numbly. My steps felt heavy as I walked past whispering faces, my dignity crushed at my feet. But Camilla wasn't done. She called after me with a mocking laugh, "Next time, learn your place." That was the moment something inside me snapped, not with anger, but with a quiet promise. A promise that life would remember what she did. That the universe would return what she gave. That karma would not stay silent forever. And I didn't know it yet, but karma was already walking toward me, in the form of a man who saw everything. A man powerful enough to bring an empire to its knees. I stumbled out into the cold night, pulling the security guard's coat tightly around me. My heart pounded with humiliation, my breath fogging in the winter air. Tears blurred the glittering city skyline. That's when I heard footsteps behind me. "Wait." The voice was calm. Low. Almost gentle. I turned to see a tall man in a midnight black suit, someone I hadn't noticed inside. His jaw was sharp, his eyes intense, and his presence felt strangely warm. "My name is Adrian Sinclair," he said quietly. "Victor and Camilla's son." My stomach dropped. Of all the people to see me break apart, why him? "I'm so sorry for what she did," he continued. "It was cruel. Disgusting. Completely unacceptable." I wiped my tears quickly, trying to maintain some shred of dignity. "It's fine," I lied. "I'm used to being invisible." His expression hardened. "You shouldn't be." He shrugged off his expensive jacket and handed it to me. I hesitated. He insisted. "Please. Take it. You shouldn't walk home like that." My voice cracked. "Thank you." Adrian looked back toward the glowing ballroom windows. "I tried to stop her," he murmured. "But my mother doesn't listen to anyone. Especially me." I blinked. Mother? So the cruel woman who humiliated me was his mother? He rubbed his face tiredly. She lives for power and attention. Hurting others entertains her. It's sick. I searched his eyes. There was pain there, deep, familiar pain. He wasn't like her, not even close. You shouldn't excuse her actions, I whispered. I'm not, he said. I'm ashamed. Something gentle settled in the space between us, a quiet understanding. He walked me toward the gate, hands in his pockets, shoulders tense. What's your name? He asked. Ella. It suits you, he said softly. As we approached the street, a paparazzi cameraman jumped out of nowhere, flash exploding in our faces. Billionaire heir has a secret date, he shouted. Adrian blocked him immediately. She's not. But the man kept snapping photos. She works for the catering company. Adrian barked. Leave her alone. The photographer grinned and sped away. Adrian cursed under his breath. He'll twist those photos. My mother will see them. She'll come after you. My heart clenched. Why would she care? He met my eyes, voice grave. Because anything that embarrasses her, she destroys. The wind cut sharply through the night. Ella, he whispered, please be careful. My mother isn't done with you. I swallowed hard. What do you mean? Adrian hesitated, then finally spoke. She thinks ripping your dress was justice. But she doesn't know you yet. She doesn't know who she humiliated. His voice lowered. And she doesn't know what she just set in motion. Little did I know, that night's humiliation was just the opening chapter of something no one expected. A downfall so massive. So public. So merciless. That even the Sinclair empire wouldn't survive it. The next morning, my phone buzzed nonstop. When I finally checked it, my stomach twisted. A video of Camilla ripping my dress had gone viral. Millions of views. Thousands of comments. Hours of pure digital fire. People weren't laughing this time. They were furious. Who does she think she is? That poor girl. Fire Camilla from her own charity. Someone identify the victim. My face was blurred, but I knew it was only a matter of time before the internet found me. They always do. I panicked. My boss was already calling. Ella, did you get involved in something last night? I didn't do anything. She attacked me. He sighed heavily. I believe you. But the Sinclairs give huge donations. They're not happy. Fear crawled up my spine. Please don't fire me, I whispered. I'm trying not to, he said, voice softening. Just lay low. Lay low? The internet was hunting for me. The door suddenly knocked. Hard. I froze. But when I opened it, it wasn't reporters. It was Adrian. He looked exhausted, dark circles under his eyes. Ella, we need to talk. My pulse raced. Your mother saw the video, he said. I swallowed. And? She's furious. So what? I'm the one who was humiliated. I know. And I told her she was wrong. But people like her don't apologize. They retaliate. My chest tightened. What does she want to do? Adrian took a breath. She wants to bury you. What? She wants to claim you ripped your own dress. That you faked the incident to blackmail her. She's preparing a statement. My knees weakened. That's a lie. I know, he said softly. But lies from powerful people spread fast. I sank onto the couch, tears pricking my eyes. Adrian kneeled beside me. I'm not letting her do this to you. I looked up, confused. What can you even do? He hesitated. I have something she doesn't. What? Proof. He pulled out his phone. A notification glowed. Adrian Sinclair sent you a video. Open it, he whispered. My hand shook as I tapped the screen. It wasn't just the viral clip. It was another angle, one captured by a private security camera. Clear. Undeniable. Showing Camilla grabbing me first. My breath caught. This is perfect. Adrian nodded. And there's more. More? He stared at me, expression serious. Ella, my mother has a past. A dark one. And if she tries to destroy you, his voice dropped. I will expose every secret she has buried. A shiver ran down my spine. This wasn't just a feud anymore. It was a storm gathering, quietly, dangerously, ready to shatter the Sinclair empire. An hour later, Camilla Sinclair released a formal statement online. A young catering worker intentionally damaged her own dress to extort money from me. She staged the scene to appear victimized. My blood boiled. She's lying. I shouted. Adrian clenched his jaw. She always lies when she's cornered. Comments exploded under the post. She's innocent. Camilla, we saw the video. She's gaslighting the victim. But Camilla had money, power, influence, and she used all of it. News channels began contacting me nonstop. Paparazzi camped outside my building. Talk shows debated my character as if I wasn't a human being. Then things escalated. My landlord called. Ella, someone paid 3 months of your rent and asked me to evict you. My heart dropped. Who? I can't say, he whispered nervously. Camilla. It had to be her. She wasn't trying to silence me. She was trying to erase me. Adrian slammed his hand on the table. Enough. Adrian. She wants a war, he said coldly. Fine. We'll give her one. He pulled out his laptop and logged into a folder labeled, S Mother, locked. What is this? I whispered. Everything my mother has done in the last 15 years, he said. She destroyed lives to build her empire. Why do you have all this? Adrian's voice hardened. Because I always knew one day she'd hurt someone who didn't deserve it. He opened one document after another, each one worse than the last. Bribed judges. Covered scandals. Blackmail. Tax fraud. Workers abused. Charity funds misused. A private hospital case she buried. I stared in shock. Adrian, this could ruin her. She deserves it. My breath trembled. But if you expose this, won't it hurt you too? He looked at me, really looked. For the first time in my life, he said softly, I care more about what's right than about the Sinclair reputation. Before I could answer, his phone buzzed. Camilla. Her message read, if you protect that girl, you are no longer my son. Adrian exhaled slowly. Well, he whispered, I guess I need a new family then. And that was the moment I knew, he wasn't doing this for revenge. He was doing it for justice. For me. At 8 p.m., Adrian clicked upload. Within minutes, every major platform exploded. Sinclair family corruption leaked. Bribes, blackmail, fraud, Camilla Sinclair exposed. Billionaire's past uncovered by own son. Comments erupted like wildfire. She deserves prison. I knew she was evil. How many victims did she destroy? Finally someone spoke up. Camilla tried to respond. She went live, shaking with rage, voice cracking as she attempted to deny everything. But the public wasn't listening. They were watching the clips Adrian released, documents, recordings, emails, undeniable proof. At the same time, I finally shared my own truth online. No tears. No drama. Just one line, I didn't want revenge. I only wanted respect. The video of my ripped dress resurfaced, again, now reaching millions who hadn't seen it before. People began protesting outside the Sinclair mansion. Chanting, justice for Ella. Down with Camilla. Hold her accountable. Meanwhile, Adrian's phone buzzed nonstop. Threats from his mother. Warnings from the family lawyer. Attempts from PR teams to silence him. But Adrian didn't back down. He stood beside me as I read every message of support. "You didn't let fear win," he said quietly. "You taught me not to let it win either." My chest tightened. "Adrian, isn't this too much, for both of us?" He shook his head. "This isn't the end. This is the beginning." And he was right. Because the exposé caused something bigger than either of us expected. 2 senators demanded a full investigation. The city attorney opened a case. Major partners cut ties with the Sinclairs. Sponsors withdrew support. Camilla's charity license was temporarily suspended. She was collapsing, publicly, loudly, painfully. Adrian received a final message from her. I hope she was worth losing everything. His answer was simple. She was worth saving. You weren't. When he showed me the message, I felt my throat tighten. Adrian, you didn't have to do all this for me. He took my hand gently. I didn't do it for you, he whispered. I did it because it was right. And because no one, especially you, deserves to be treated like nothing. I felt something warm settle in my chest. Not love. Not yet. But trust. Safety. Possibility. Little did I know, the biggest twist of this entire story hadn't happened yet. 3 days after the exposé, Camilla's world shattered. Her bank accounts were frozen. Her board demanded her resignation. Her designer brand canceled partnerships. But the final blow came when the IRS and the district attorney arrived at the Sinclair mansion with search warrants. The woman who once ripped my dress with pride was now being escorted out of her home in disgrace, cameras flashing like fireworks around her. The headlines were merciless. Queen of Luxury falls. Camilla Sinclair under investigation. Empire built on lies. Meanwhile, I stayed mostly unseen, hiding in Adrian's quiet apartment, protected from paparazzi. But every day, mail poured in from strangers, letters of support, gifts, apologies from people I didn't even know. One night, I asked Adrian, why does she hate me so much? He hesitated. Because you're everything she fears. What do you mean? She built her life on cruelty. On stepping on people. But you stand back up. She can't handle women she can't break. His words stunned me. Ella, he continued softly, you remind her that she became a monster. And everyone sees it now. I swallowed hard. But what happens now? Adrian leaned back. My father is divorcing her. The board is removing her. And prosecutors are preparing charges. I exhaled sharply. So, she'll lose everything? He met my eyes. She already did. You know why? I shook my head. He whispered, because the moment she tore your dress, the world stopped being afraid of her. I didn't know what to say. I had spent my whole life feeling small, unseen, unheard. And yet somehow, standing up for myself had toppled a queen. A week later, I received a call from a number I didn't recognize. Miss Marlowe? This is the City Women's Empowerment Council. We would like you to speak at our annual event. Speak? I squeaked. Me? Why? Because your courage inspired thousands. My heart raced. I'm not a speaker. You don't need to be, she replied. You just need to be honest. I hung up, stunned. Adrian walked in with groceries and saw my pale face. What happened? He asked, rushing over. They want me to give a speech. He smiled. That's incredible. I can't do it. Yes, you can. No, I insisted. I'm no one. He took my hands gently. You're someone now, Ella. Someone strong. Someone people look up to. My eyes stung with tears. You really believe that? He nodded. I believe in you. 3 days later, I walked onto a stage in front of 800 women. Hands shaking. Heart racing. But when I spoke, really spoke, something inside me broke open. I talked about humiliation. About dignity. About being treated as invisible. About rising anyway. When I finished, the entire room stood up and applauded. I cried, they cried. Adrian watched from the side with pride softening his eyes. After the event, dozens of women hugged me, thanked me, told me their own stories. For the first time in my life, I didn't feel small. I felt seen. I felt powerful. I felt healed. But the night wasn't over yet. Because when I returned backstage, Adrian stood waiting, nervous, hands in his pockets. "I have something for you," he whispered. He handed me a small velvet box. My breath caught. I opened it, not a ring. A necklace, a simple silver pendant shaped like a teardrop. "For every tear you shed," he said gently, "I hope you wear this knowing none of them were wasted." My heart melted. "Adrian." He stepped closer. "You changed my life," he whispered. "And I don't want this to end." Something warm and undeniable rose in my chest. But then, a message buzzed on his phone. He checked it, and his face dropped. "What is it?" I asked. He swallowed hard. "It's my mother. She's planning something." My heart tightened. "What kind of something?" His answer made my blood run cold. "She wants revenge." Camilla Sinclair wasn't done. Even in disgrace, she tried to claw her way back to power. Reporters caught sight of her sneaking into private meetings. Her lawyers filed appeals. Her PR team planted stories painting her as the real victim. But karma isn't swayed by wealth. 3 days later, the final blow arrived. A judge unsealed a decade-old case involving a woman who had been silenced, forcefully, by Camilla years ago. The details were horrifying. And the evidence was undeniable. The media went into a frenzy. Camilla Sinclair involved in cover-up scandal. Victims stepped forward. Public demands justice. People took to the streets, protesting against corruption and abuse of power. Camilla tried to speak publicly, but every time she appeared, crowds booed her off stage. Then the moment arrived. The final moment. The moment karma delivered its crushing blow. A court ruling declared Camilla Sinclair was guilty. Guilty of blackmail. Guilty of bribery. Guilty of covering multiple crimes. Her sentence? Years of prison time. Her wealth? Frozen. Her social circle? Gone. Her empire? Dead. The same week she was taken away in handcuffs, I stood on a balcony overlooking the city, free, peaceful, stronger than ever. Adrian joined me, slipping his jacket around my shoulders. "You did it," he murmured. "No," I said softly, "karma did it." He smiled, the first real smile I'd seen from him. "Ella, can I ask you something?" My heart fluttered. "What?" "Can we start over? Not as a victim and a witness. Not as a Sinclair and a Marlowe. Just as two people who found each other in the middle of chaos?" Tears filled my eyes, but this time, they were warm. "Yes," I whispered. "We can." He gently intertwined his fingers with mine. Below us, the city lights glowed. Behind us, an empire had fallen. Before us, a new beginning waited. And just like I said in the beginning, she never saw it coming. Nobody did. But karma always arrives. Louder, sharper, and in ways you never expect.